Good morning, everyone. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. It's an update on our severe weather risk for later on today. It remains a pretty impressive setup for some strong thunderstorms and the possibility of some damaging thunderstorms as well. It's just a cold and rainy morning so far. I just ran in the Youngstown 5 miler and it was pretty miserable. Thankfully, thunder and lightning stayed away, but we just had a cold, soaking rain for much of the morning today. We'll be keeping an eye on a lot of things today. One of the things I'll be keeping a close eye on is this area of clearing skies down here in Kentucky, far southern Indiana. How far north does this work? If it works far enough north, it'll help to destabilize the atmosphere over parts of Ohio later on this afternoon. So we're hoping for clouds to win the battle today. It's the kind of morning where you think, really, we're going to have the potential for severe weather today. It is cold outside, but look what's going to happen to our temperatures today. As we go through the midday and afternoon, they're going to jump pretty quickly out of the 40s. In a few hours, by 2 o'clock, a lot of us are in the mid-60s. So we're going to gain 20 degrees in the matter of a few hours today. And I think some places will even get into the lower 70s by the end of the afternoon. So it's going to be a very fast transition, I think, from a cold, miserable rain to it really feeling like spring outside. Here's our area of low pressure down here. Severe weather risk ongoing down towards Atlanta late this morning. And this dry slot, with not much of activity in it right now, will probably start to fill in with some thunderstorms as we go into the midday hours and into the afternoon today. I want to plot up the dew points for you and show you where the moisture is starting to gather and head north. You'll notice the brighter green color is indicative of higher dew points, higher moisture, starting to get up towards the Ohio River, and these higher dew points and warmer temperatures will continue pushing north as we transition into the afternoon today. So let's start talking about what you can expect as far as impacts and timing and everything. Let me show you first the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlooks for today. All right, so we're in this kind of orange color today, which is an enhanced risk. And I know the scale may be a little hard to see. Let me try to make, there we go, we'll scroll up here. Enhanced risk is basically like a 3 on a 1 to 5 scale. Slight risk is 2. We're a category above that into the enhanced risk on a 1 to 5 scale. So we're not in an enhanced risk all that many times a year around here. Slight risks are much more common. So when we're in enhanced risk, that really should get your attention, and it means that conditions are pretty favorable for some nasty storms later on today. Now, as far as the individual risks of types of severe weather, here's a look at the chances of a tornado within 25 miles of any one location. Pick any location, and these are the odds of a tornado within 25 miles of that location. We're at a 5% risk right now. That's, in the grand scheme of things, right? It's a pretty low number, but when it comes to a tornado risk, a 5% risk is pretty elevated and should definitely get our attention. As far as other types of severe weather risks today, by far and away, the number one risk is damaging wind gusts. We're in a 30% risk within 25 miles of any spot of there being a damaging wind gust later on today. So that's number one. And think your siding, your barn, your trash can, whatever, it doesn't care what kind of wind it is. And a lot of times in severe weather situations, we'll have more problems from just straight line thunderstorm winds than we would from a low-end EF0 tornado. Wind is wind. So don't get caught up too much in the tornado idea today. It's something we can't rule out, but by far and away, just plain old wind is something we're pretty concerned about. And a secondary threat, also hail. This is a look at the risk of damaging hail, large hail, impactful hail, not just the little pea-sized stuff, but stuff that can really ding things. 15% contour there as far as the chances of that kind of thing occurring within 25 miles of any one location. Here's a look at what the radar should look like as we go through time. We're going to get into this little lull, I think, as we get into the afternoon. The steady cold rain that we've had this morning will push east. We'll get into a break, and then the radar will start to fill in to our south and west early this afternoon towards Columbus and Lima and Zanesville and Cambridge. This is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Heavy thunderstorms in parts of central Ohio shown by our modeling here. These are going to move pretty quickly to the east, and I think our risk for severe weather is going to be centered around kind of 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in that general time frame, give or take an hour, but generally speaking, 5 to 8. The back edge shown to be pushing east of I-79 would be around 8, 8:30 on this model. Another high-res model a similar idea, a little bit of a different timing here. Here's 7 o'clock this evening, showing a pretty good band of showers, intense thunderstorms pushing across. Here's 8 o'clock, and then it would have us out of the woods by 9 o'clock. It's a little slower than our other high-res model. Let's not get too caught up in exact clock times this early in the day, because again, it's pretty early in the game here. We're still at only 10:30 in the morning. Have a plan today. Have a severe weather plan for you and your family wherever you are later today, whether it be at home, at work, or anywhere else. If severe weather threatens your area, have a plan. Don't rely on sirens to make decisions. Don't get into a siren mentality of, oh, we're fine, we don't hear any sirens. Or the opposite, oh, we hear sirens, that means we're definitely getting a tornado. For most people in 2019, for the vast majority of people, sirens are not something you should be basing decisions on. There's only a very select number of people who really need sirens in this day and age. Have multiple ways of getting warnings, have much more reliable and convenient ways of getting warnings, primarily on smartphones. If you don't have a smartphone, then a weather radio is a great thing to have on standby. And of course, be by your television, because we will be cutting in when severe weather strikes later on today. If we get any tornado warnings, we will do continuous coverage on television no matter what kind of programming we have on. So we're going to have you covered on the TV side, but if you watch us on TV and we say, hey, take shelter, then we need you to take that advice seriously. We'll get you through this. Andrew DiPaolo, Ramel Carpenter, and I will be in the Weather Center later on today with live coverage, of course, on the television side, on Facebook Live, streaming on our website, streaming on the Storm Tracker 21 app and the WFMJ News app as well. So we're going to get you through this. Again, just have a plan, use some common sense, and we'll get through this just fine. And then it's a one-day return of cold, wintry weather for tomorrow, with temperatures struggling to get out of the lower 40s. Don't worry, it'll warm up after that. All right, much more to come from me throughout the day today as we get closer to our severe weather threat. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and stay safe.